the incomparable Joe Perot!
What's going on? Hey, we meet again, huh? This is going to be relevant to no one in the room except for 3 people, but I was standing, staring at my phone by the front door, and they walked in and they thought I was the bouncer, I think, at first. I don't know exactly, but he was like, hello! And I was like, oh, I don't work here. He's like, neither do I. And he goes, you look like you do. And then you kind of did this thing that I caught, and you caught yourself, I appreciate it, but it was like, well, you're wearing you're very, it's a tight shirt. Like, he was gonna call me muscular, and then he like looked at me, he's like, not really, it's just a very, your shirt's too small, pal, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, I appreciate it. Nice of you guys to be here. How is everyone? Good, have a nice day? Excellent. It was a great day. It was nice weather out. I like to start with the very mundane stuff up top. Nice weather we're having, huh? Yeah, I think September is the best time to live in North Carolina. The summer is too hot. I'm tired of 3 months straight of looking at my phone and being like, how many showers do I have to take today? This is brutal. 80s, I'll take it. That's how I get my weather. I think we all do. It's 2025. I get my weather from my phone. I see what the temperature is outside. My phone gives me the temperature, and then right below it, it also does this thing where it gives me the feels like temperature. Right? Do you have that feature on your phone? I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the feels like temperature is kind of disrespectful to thermometers. Because temperature is a system of measurement. And then her phone is like, yeah, it's 95, but what kind of vibes is it giving off out there? That's the only measurement we do that with. Like, you can't do that. You can't be a guy on a dating app and you're messaging with a woman and you're like, well, I'm 5'7", but I feel like I'm 6'1". You get ghosted immediately. No replies to that. I feel like I could have used that when I was single. I think if I was, things were getting serious with a woman, or getting spicy, we're gonna hook up for the first time, and I just want to give her the heads up, right? I was like, hey, I want to let you know, it's 5 inches, but it's gonna feel like 3. Because it's very thin, I have stiff hips, so I can't go in all the way. Crazy times we're living in. A lot of negative stuff. I feel like there's been some good. Did you guys see that they figured out autism this week? Wow, what a scientific marvel. Who knew, right? What a press conference. Acetaminophen, I think is how you say it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the President of the United States of America gave a press conference where he announced to the world that he has figured out the cause of autism, and it's moms taking Tylenol while they're pregnant. Did they do any research to figure that out? No, they did not. Here's how he came to the conclusion in his ultimate wisdom, is that he found out that there's groups of society that don't have autism, and then they also don't take Tylenol. And as we all know, correlation equals causation, so solve that riddle, huh? Here's, this is where I thought it was like a little off track though, is that the group of people that he pointed to as evidence for not having autism was the Amish. I don't want to be disparaging to people on the spectrum, but if there is a group of society that is collectively autistic, it's the Amish, right? Like at one point they were just like, you know what, we're not doing anything new. This is how we live now for the next 250 years. We all dress the same and have the same beards because I don't want to make decisions anymore. I feel like the only way that Amish people could be more autistic than they already are is if they were like, all right, but we're going to do trains, right? Imagine how much that must have sucked to be an Amish person in like the 1840s when they're like, we have the perfect way of life, we don't need anything new. Holy shit, what is that? I'm obsessed. I'm a little, people shit on I'm a little jealous. Like sometimes I'm like, I would love to live like that. I hate technology so much. I'd love to be Amish for like the 1990s. I think that's I'm starting a cult after the show if you want to come up. Just let me know. Joe's 1995 Amish cult. Technology terrifies me. It's like, we're just like, can we slow down just a little bit? I'm 37, I feel like I'm 87. It's crazy. I think the reason I'm like so afraid, I'm afraid of like the apocalypse, like AI and drones and robots. It's too scary for me because I think they're going to take over. I think it's because when I was 4 years old, my dad made me watch the original Terminator film, which that's too young to see that movie. Okay? His reason for making me watch it was that I was a bedwetter, and he was like, well, if he has night terrors every night, he won't piss the bed anymore. And it's easier to clean sweat out of the sheets than it is piss. So, lock and load that VHS of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know, so that's just like, every time I like read an article about robots or AI, it just freaks me out. I saw one recently, it said that facial recognition technology and like artificial intelligence, it has a harder time recognizing people with darker complexions, people of color. Technology doesn't pick up their face as well, right? Because there's like some bias in the coding, stuff like that. Which, look, I feel like is a big inconvenience in 2025. But I also feel like that is going to be a great survival strategy in 2035. You guys aren't quite with me yet. Okay, all right. You ever see one of those like Boston Dynamics robots that's like doing an obstacle course? Okay, if I ever see one of those where it turns on its master and kills him, we're not going to like this, but I might give blackface a try, okay? I know that's wrong, I shouldn't do it, but if I see it, I'm going to be painted up like Ted Danson at Whoopi Goldberg's birthday party, okay? And I understand that I might get canceled, that's fine, but I promise you I will not get terminated. All right, a little tentative with the laughter there. You guys are like, we don't know where this is going. Can you talk about your small penis more? We all agreed that we like that. Cool. It is, it's trying time. The news is scary, there's too much stuff going on, I don't know. We can't agree on anything anymore, it's wild to me. I feel like the solutions to stuff, it's always like it's so different, right? Like we have a gun problem in this country, I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But then if you ask people, how should we fix that? There's one group of people who's over here, they're like, all right, well obviously we should get rid of all the guns, right? Sound logic, I get it. And then the other group of people is like, or what if we give guns to kindergarten teachers? And I don't think teachers make enough money for us to equip them with firearms in the classroom. Because that's a hard job, and also a lot of teachers are alcoholics. I don't want to point at anyone in the room or not, but I do know Jerry. I just don't think that like a kindergarten classroom and a teacher with a Glock on their hip is like a healthy learning environment. Because that teacher comes in a little hungover, if they got a short fuse, they're ready to pull it out and use it to enforce the classroom rules. They're like, I set color inside the lines. I think you should listen to both sides. All right, let's take a little bit from here, let's take a little bit from here, let's come up with a solution together, right? So get rid of all the guns, because the guns are killing people. That seems so obvious, but I guess not. All right, why should we keep the guns? It's always the same reason that we have to keep the guns, right? It's always for protection. That's what people say. We gotta have guns for protection. We gotta protect our homes, and our family, and our fragile sense of masculinity. Those are the three that people point out. All right. We gotta have guns for protection. We need a gun for self-defense. Okay, hear me out. What if we get rid of all the guns and give everybody free karate lessons? Does that make you happy? Huh? I don't think that actually stops the violence, but it does make the news a lot more palatable. Like if you flip on WRAL, it's a reporter like, behind me, one of the most violent tragedies in recent American history. A man came into his office today and punched 26 coworkers in the face. We have an eyewitness from inside. Ma'am, tell us what happened. And it's this disheveled secretary. She's like, yeah, he came in with fists blazing. He was punching people left and right. I tried getting under my desk, but he came over and karate chopped it right in half. There was nowhere to hide. And the reporter's like, wow, that sounds terrifying. I guess the only way to stop a bad guy with a black belt is a good guy with a secondary black belt. Back to you in the studio. Guys, I'm Joe Burrow. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the show.